Joining us for Primetime Local News is Director of Education Jason Neville for the Lloydminster Public School Division. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Oh, thank you for the invite.
Of course, no problem, because we are here for a year-ender for the Public School Division's 2022 year, of course. Now, for you, you accepted this position back in May for 2022, and you began in August, correct?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so how has that been so far for kind of like compared to your previous positions, would you say, that just kind of starting with this?
It's been a fantastic transition to start with. I'm new to the city as well, so the move to the city, I've really enjoyed living in Lloyd. And the division seems like it's been fantastic so far, some great people to work with. The big change I noticed was the border city piece and having to, in our role, work with Alberta Ministry of Education and Saskatchewan.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, so that's been a big learning curve for me, and but it's coming along and people are pretty patient and supportive, so yeah.
Now, like moving on to the school year, what are some of the highlights that you would like to kind of showcase for 2022 since I guess you started?
Okay.
I guess it's kind of hard to say, but yeah.
Well, one big highlight would be just the kickoff of the year. We started pretty much like a regular year pre-pandemic, which is nice. We didn't have to worry about water fountains and masking and those pieces. So that has started off well. In talking with our principals, the number of students that are wanting to be part of extracurricular sports and choir and leadership groups and stuff like that has been huge. So students I think are excited to be getting back to those pre-pandemic activities and loving that piece. So those would be pluses. And then our enrollment too. Our enrollment has increased quite a bit. Back to actually above what it was before the pandemic. So it's good in a way. It shows that families are ready to kind of get past it and get back to normal and get life going again. So that's great.
And I know you're speaking already a little bit about the pandemic, and I kind of wanted to ask with, how have you seen the staff, students, teachers kind of like adjusting to it now with kind of getting back to normal? Has it been kind of seeing some bright smiles, I guess? And
yeah, for sure. Seeing some bright smiles, seeing families in our buildings again. Even up to the end of last year, parents could come and pick up their students. They were encouraged to stay at the door, from what I understand. So now they're being invited into our buildings, and we're having meet the teacher nights and different things like that are bringing families, not just students, but their families into our buildings. So that's great.
No, that's really awesome hearing about, especially families that can get brought in and being able to make that connection once again. That must feel really good. Now, with other obstacles, do you kind of have some examples that, LPSD has had to overcome that you're kind of proud to see that, other, I guess, than the pandemic?
Sure. Some other obstacles would be, well, this, I guess, is a little bit related to the pandemic, but just that gap in learning. With school being on and off and in person and online, I think across the country we're seeing just a bigger gap than we're used to. So that's an obstacle that I know our teachers are addressing and working through and are really focused on kind of attacking. So it's an obstacle, but it's going to be a positive in the end, I think.
Oh, yeah, of course. And it always seems like, with LPSD, you're really being able to overcome it and everything. And I think it's really exciting to be able to see the students kind of moving back into that and being able to experience it.
Yep.
Of course, ones that have kind of started it throughout the pandemic years. So.
Yeah, we have some students, like grade 3 students, who this is really their first normal experience of school. So,
wow, that's so crazy to imagine, but really good to see that, it didn't last longer, but knock on wood, don't want nothing else to happen. Now, I guess probably the biggest question for like kind of these year-end interviews is kind of asking for LPSD some plans on the agenda, or what's kind of ahead for 2023, would you say, or are there some other initiatives that you're trying to look into getting started?
Sure. Yeah, a big piece for us is going forward is student and staff mental wellness, mental health, lots of things focused around that and just making connections. Our LCHS expansion, that's been kind of plugging along, and You can see, if you drive by there, you can see some major structures going up and those pieces, so that's exciting for sure.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and then I guess our academies, they're going strong. Our hockey academy's been going for quite a few years. Our sport academy just finished up its first year, and our art academy just kicked off just in September. So with quite a few numbers and some people on the waiting list, so that's been exciting as well.
Awesome. And I guess I was thinking that was my last question, but is there any other message that you're wanting to kind of leave off with for the 2022 year and kind of what everything you've been through with starting your position, kind of for the end off the year and interview, I guess?
Okay, well, it would just be the positivity and those pieces that I've come across in the four months. It feels like I've learned enough for a year here, but we're only 4 months in. But it's just how welcoming our buildings have been to myself and to families when I've gone out to some different events. It's just been such a positive start to the year, and I'm looking forward to the next 6 months, I guess, left.
Yeah, so. Awesome, Jason. Well, it was really nice being able to have you on here and be able to speak about LPSD for a year-end interview. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Perfect, thank you.